Man, let me jump on in there. Excuses. Y'all ready to talk about some excuses? Well, we're going to talk about it, but I'm just going to tell you this right here. Right? You got the people who want it versus the people who have it. What's the difference, right? It's a big difference between wanting something and having something, right? You see, the people who want something, they normally give excuses. But the people who have it, they normally get results. Y'all see that? Now, I'm going to take it a step further. If you don't make excuses, then you don't have to accept it. That's coming from affiliates. That's coming from people in your life. That's coming from potential clients. If you don't make excuses, then you don't have to accept them. So before you decide to make an excuse, I want you to say to myself, okay, if I make this excuse, then you making room for somebody else to make an excuse with you. But if you don't make an excuse, then you don't have to accept them. It's biblical, y'all. I promise you it's biblical. Let me take you to church. I'm going to take you out of church for just 2 minutes, right? I'm going to take you to church real quick. In the Bible, there was a man who had been diseased for over 38 years. Damon, you know what I'm talking about. I see you over there, brother. There was a man who had been diseased for over 38 years. Jesus approached the man. Jesus asked the man one question. He said, would thou like to be made whole? Basically, do you want to be healed? He didn't say, what's wrong with you? He didn't say what happened. He didn't say how long you been like this. He didn't say who did this for. He said one question. He said, do you want to be healed? Do y'all know what that man who had been diseased for 38 years? Do you know what he said? Well, first off, let me tell you what he didn't say. He didn't say yes. He didn't say yes, guys. As a matter of fact, he started giving excuses. Jesus said, would you like to be healed? And the man said, sir, I have no man that I don't have anybody to help me. Then he said, I was about to go, but then somebody stepped in front of me. And they went ahead and they got in there before me. But let me tell you something. When I say, if you don't give excuses, you don't have to accept it. I'm gonna tell y'all what Jesus did exactly after that man gave him excuses. Jesus didn't say nothing. He just brought it on home. He said, rise, pick up your bed and go. Rise, go do it. He healed him just like that, even though the man was giving him excuses. You see, if you don't give excuses, you don't have to accept them. Excuses go deeper than what you think. The same excuse that you give is going to be the same excuse that somebody's going to give you when it comes down for you. You can be one person away from your next promotion. And that person who you've been talking to the whole month, and you just know they're about to give up. You just know they're about to sign up. They're going to give you an excuse. You know why? Because you gave an excuse at the beginning of the month. You gave it an excuse when it was time for training. You gave it an excuse when it was time to make 10 extra phone calls. You gave it an excuse when the football game came on. You gave an excuse when it was time to sign up for a Heart of the Lion tour. You gave an excuse when it was time for you to show up. So now, when it's time for you to have everything that's coming, when you get to that finish line, you got one more person to go. That same excuse that you gave is going to be the same one that shows back up. So how do you dodge it? Stop giving excuses.